You ever get one of those mornings where the coffee tastes like victory, right up until it doesn't? Yeah, that was me, sitting on the back porch of my so-called forever home, mountain air in my lungs, October sun on my face, when the world decided to get weird. I'd been living there 8 days. 8. When this envelope lands in my mailbox, heavy, glossy, with a return address from Eagle View Estates Community Board. And I'll admit, I laughed at first. My place was old, older than their subdivision by a couple decades at least, tucked on county land so far off the grid, the nearest HOA sign was a quarter-mile of rattlesnakes away. But hey, curiosity gets the best of all of us, so I open it up, coffee in hand, feeling like a king. Then I read the letter. They're demanding that I surrender 3 rooms in my own house for HOA administrative operations. Like I'm running a roadside inn for board members. Noncompliance, they say, will result in disciplinary escalation, which, sounds a whole lot like being sent to the principal's office, except with fake gold seals and worse handwriting. No greeting, no name, just corporate nonsense stamped with a threat. I nearly spit my coffee clear into the woods. So I type out the shortest reply I can manage, on thick, overpriced paper, something my granddad would have called intimidation stock, signed it with the kind of flourish that says, "Try me," and mailed it back. I am not a member of your HOA. Good luck with that. That was it. I figured that would be the end of it, right? You know what I mean? Except, the very next morning, I get a ping on my security cam. 2 guys, mid-30s, collared shirts stitched, HOA security, which I guess is supposed to scare me, already inside my fence line. One has a clipboard, the other's got that wannabe cop walk. So, I grab my GoPro, hit record, and step right outside, saying nothing. Clipboard guy tries to play official. "Sir, we're here to inspect the rooms for association use." And I just say, "No, you're not." Blank stares. I tell them they're trespassing, and if they don't leave, they'll be leaving in handcuffs. That camera's rolling the whole time. 10 seconds later, they're gone, one muttering about miscommunication as they hustle out. I follow, lock the gate, and stand there, heart pounding in my ears. Thing is, I couldn't shake the feeling that this wasn't just HOA muscle flexing. Who sends 2 rent-a-cops to inspect a house they've never had a claim to? So I make copies of the footage, send a couple to friends with a note. Open if anything weird happens to me in the next 2 months. Paranoid? Maybe. Or maybe just seasoned. Pattern recognition, That night, I patrol the fence line with a flashlight, check all the cameras. Sleep comes slow. A week passes. Quiet. I start thinking maybe it was all a bad prank, until certified mail arrives, and this time, it's serious. County seal, Department of Land Use and Zoning return address. Inside, a copy of a zoning amendment, my property now highlighted as Administrative Support Area, Eagle View Estates. Plus, a notarized notice of boundary extension claiming my home is part of their new initiative. The punchline? Owner failed to provide written objection within 30 days. Notification I never got. Worse yet, one signature is from a county land officer I actually know. The other is mine, or something that sort of looks like it, probably traced from an old permit. You ever feel your jaw lock up so tight you hear your molars grinding? I was there. I pour a fresh coffee, drive straight into town, and march into the county office. No appointment, no small talk. Receptionist sends me to a deputy clerk, Andrew. He looks at the packet like it's radioactive. "I thought you agreed to this," he says. "The HOA president told us you gave verbal consent." I nearly choke. For what? Giving up my house. He shuffles papers, brings out the supposed signed addendum. One glance tells me it's a joke. My name, a fake signature, some notary I've never heard of. I snap a photo and tell him point blank, "This is forgery. You've been conned." He just stammers. "This is going to be criminal," I tell him and walk out. Back home, I'm elbows deep in property records. Eagle View filed a strategic growth plan, scooping my place and a few other border properties into their HOA just weeks after I moved in. My signature on the county documents? A clumsy copy-paste job. That night, I start sleeping in the living room, boots on, revolver on the coffee table. Not paranoia, just habit now. Next thing I know, early Tuesday, a white box truck rumbles to my gate. Out spill 2 more HOA shirt guys, a clipboard jockey, and Larry Scott himself. HOA president, smirk and all. They start unloading a mattress, dresser, a storage bin labeled HA Admin 1. I barrel out, demand to know if they've lost their minds. Larry grins, tells me they're beginning administrative occupancy. I hold up my phone, dial the sheriff's office. Larry's face twitches. 10 minutes later, Sheriff Greg Sampson, retired Marine, also my fishing buddy, rolls up. Greg takes one look and just asks, "Are you seriously trying to move into Clint Barkley's house?" Larry starts to bluster, but Greg cuts him off, tells them to pack up. Larry lingers, tries to threaten me quiet, but I'm already litigious, I tell him. That night, I call my old lawyer Jeremy Foster, ask him to file criminal complaints. He hems and haws, says not to provoke. Red flag number 1. 2 days later, still no confirmation, just vague talk of exploring options. Smells bad, right? So I dig. In HOA disclosures, I find a PDF of meeting minutes, 3 months old, saying I personally endorsed annexing my home, another forged signature. And one board member, Carol Wu, is a notary I remember. I call her up. She says she never worked for them, and that signature isn't hers either. It's a clown show. But then, I find Larry's pattern. He pulled this scam at his last HOA, Ridge Pine Trails. Forged votes, snatched up properties, rented out homes that weren't his. Never charged, just quietly booted. This time, he picked the wrong guy. I compile everything, screenshots, emails, records, written statements. Drive into town, meet Savannah Rowe, a legal hammer with a taste for HOA drama. She's ready. Files complaints, gets a cease and desist, prepares a civil suit. Just as I breathe easy, the HOA drops another package. This time, a leather-bound operational authorization compendium. Fake floor plans, fake schedules, forged signatures. My house listed as the new HOA Wellness Suite. Savannah tells me, stay inside. Don't answer the door. But it gets wilder. My friend James, who works IT for county zoning, calls after hours. He says someone flagged my parcel as under transition, something the system doesn't even use anymore. It was my own lawyer, Foster, who did it, logging in with municipal credentials. Betrayal stings worse than coffee burns. I confront Foster. He caves, tries to blame administrative errors. I leave, slam the door, and hand every shred of evidence to Savannah. Suddenly, social media erupts. Anonymous posts, memes with my face, fake Airbnb reviews, rumors I'm housing criminals, even wild claims I threatened Girl Scouts. Larry and the HOA launched a digital smear campaign, bots and all. Lucky for me, Savannah knows a digital forensics guy, Theo, who traces it right back to the HOA clubhouse. Savannah files suits for defamation and digital harassment, fires off letters to the county and local paper. Reporter Angela from the Gazette comes to interview me, asking if I really threatened to shoot an HOA inspector in the kneecaps. I just tell her, I invited them to leave before they got shot. That's legal. She laughs, writes a piece titled, Homeowner Fights Back Against HOA's Wild Land Grab. It goes viral. Here's where the twist lands. One evening, a woman named Danielle Lynn shows up, nervous, hands me a fat envelope. She's on the HOA advisory committee, but done with their games. Inside, emails between Larry and board members detailing the annex plan, strategies for reclassifying lots, even a draft to spin it as community cohesion. One line. If we control the outer ring, we control the footprint. Barkley is a speed bump. Push harder. She gives it to me because her lot's next, and she wants out. Savannah files for subpoena, triggers a full HOA audit. Judge fast-tracks it. Suddenly, Larry's PR spin turns to stammering. The courtroom hearing is like watching a slow-motion train wreck. Savannah, calm and surgical, lays out every fake, forged, and fraudulent move. Larry's lawyer tries to object, but the judge isn't having it. The county finds no legitimate consent, matches the forged signature to a mortgage form from years prior, direct copy. The injunction is granted, and the judge orders an official fraud investigation into Eagle View Estates. Subpoenas start flying. The fallout comes quick. HOA board members start resigning, one after another. Danielle live texts the meltdown. Someone threw a chair. Larry's hiding behind a podium. 2 weeks later, Larry's let out in handcuffs. No drama, just quiet, official, and final. Booked for forgery, criminal conspiracy, obstruction, the works. Local news splashes his mugshot everywhere. Savannah files our civil suit. Trespassing, emotional distress, attempted fraudulent conversion, reputational harm. The case flies through the courts. Larry's assets are frozen. Board members blacklisted from ever serving on an HOA again. But here's the kicker. The state puts Eagle View Estates under external management for 5 years. Transparency, audits, all of it out in the open. And I get a $2.1 million settlement, enough to build a fortress if I wanted. I use the money to rebuild my workshop, expand the power grid, add a second story, everything I'd ever wanted. Then, I hang a steel sign on my gate. These rooms are occupied permanently. And the kicker? A nice couple from inside Eagle View stop by to thank me for not backing down. They ask if I'll ever consider joining the new board. I laugh so hard. I almost drop my wrench. Ma'am, I've fought in bureaucratic hell. I have no desire to go back. But as I watch them walk away, I can't help thinking how close I came to losing everything. Not to violence, not to force, but to paperwork, to digital warfare, to quiet fraud most people never see coming. I had the fight in me, and you bet I'd do it again. So tell me, was I right to go nuclear, or should I have played it quiet? What would you have done if the whole neighborhood came for your home, one signature at a time? Drop your story, sound off below. This fight isn't over, and you know what? It never really is.